Hey everybody, welcome back to a short episode of Kavinsky's Tutorials. So a couple of days ago I did a walkthrough on Sculptur, the new Bram and Hainbach app, really enjoying it. In this short video I thought I would just mention a few little tips for using it. So one thing is, don't forget that this can be really nice to filter white noise, and it's got its own little knob in there for white noise. And I forgot to demo that in my video. But also, another tip, put that then through a resonator. Like here I'm using rings effects. And so remember, if you're using rings effects, put the exciter source to input. Also remember that you have to gate it. So what I'm doing here is I'm sending MIDI from a MIDI generator. In this case I'm using Chord Jam. I'm sending that MIDI in to rings effects. The host I'm using here as usual is AUM on my iPad, by the way, but you could do this in whatever host it is you use. Well, then another tip would be use a few instances of Sculptur together. That can be really nice. Now let's here, by the way, this so here I'm triggering Tardigrain, this lovely little granular app by Humble Tune. So now Tardigrain is playing also this MIDI from Chord Jam. And so then here maybe I could, it's still nice to add in a little bit of noise. Little bit. And this also sounds nice as well, by the way, put through the resonator. Listen to that. That'd be lovely with a nice big reverb on it. But why stop at just using Sculptur if we're talking about using a few filter banks together? So don't forget about other filter banks like Moog, Murph. So Murph is great. That is one of these Moog apps. And on sale, you can pick those up on iOS dirt cheap. I highly recommend them. So let's look at a little example here. So here, if you saw my little YouTube short demoing Sculptur, I was using Moto Akami with it, this little patch I did. And here what I did was put it through Bliss Slow Machine. Got walkthroughs on both these apps on my YouTube channel, by the way. I haven't done walkthroughs on the Moog. And so here, we've got a filter bank with its own unique advantages compared to Sculptur. Sculptur is much better as a kind of hands-on experience, live performance, that kind of thing. But Murph is great for sequencing the filters. And yeah, then, add Sculptur in. Or of course use a couple of Murphs together as well. And experiment with the placement, which one do you put first, what do you put second, and so on. Or we could play around with the different UIs in Sculptur. Don't forget about Sculptur if you're using the fader view to perhaps adjust the start position of the bands if you don't want things to ever go down into pure silence. And maybe just keep a few bands stable. Like here I've just left the bass frequency fixed, not adjusting the gain. So feel free to drop in the comments any tips you have about using Sculptur or Murph or any other filter banks that you use. Hope you enjoyed this, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good weekend. Cheers.